How's it going, everybody? It's me and Bianca, my girlfriend, and we wanted to make this little tutorial, a little video on how to pick a tortoise and why you should only have one tortoise and not many. This is Aoki. He's just basking, and I just wanted to go into detail a little bit on how to pick your tortoise. As you can see, he has his head all the way out, his feet out. He's alert, blinking. That's a good sign that he's healthy. His shell, I mean, it's a little nicked up and scratched because when I first got him, he was a wild caught tortoise. I'll get into that in a moment. But a big fact in picking your tortoise, when you want to pick a tortoise, there's many things you gotta take to mind. Do you think you're ready for a tortoise, and what type of tortoise you want? I suggest you get a Russian tortoise if you're a beginner at owning a tortoise. I mean, in general, they're nice tortoises to own no matter what. I mean, it's not like a new car you're going to upgrade next year or anything. I mean, they're really good tortoises. They're easy to maintain. They're very hardy. They're kind of weather resistant. They could go through any type of weather. I mean, I'm not saying leave them in the cold, but I'm saying they could adapt to anything, any environment, really. I mean, they're really strong tortoises. They're strong-willed. And when you pick your tortoise, I think it's best that you pick your tortoise from a farm, a tortoise farm. You can buy them online. They ship them to you within a day or two. And when you buy them from tortoise farms, it's better that way because they're captive bred. What captive bred basically means is that the tortoise was born in captivity. And that means they don't have parasites. It's not from the wild. You'll know how old it is. You could get it as a baby. All around, it's better, an ideal thing to get your tortoise from a tortoise farm. Or from breeders that breed them in captivity, maybe at a reptile shop. I got this guy right here. He's 6 years old. I got him from Petco, and when I first got him, he was all right. I mean, he wasn't my first tortoise. Now I'm gonna get into detail right now on why not to get your tortoise from Petco or PetSmart, because basically what they do, they're gonna sell you your tortoise. It's a wild caught tortoise. They have about 5 or 6 of them in a little tiny tank. And some of them, you won't even know it if you're inexperienced or if you're a first timer. They'll have parasites all through their body. They'll be sick. I bought 2 tortoises before I bought this guy. And the first one I got, he wouldn't eat. He wouldn't come out his shell. He wouldn't do nothing. When I put him outside in the nice warm sun to walk around and roam around, he wouldn't come out his shell at all. He just lay there for a week or two. Wouldn't eat or do nothing. Maybe take a few bites of food if anything. And it was the summer. And eventually that tortoise, his eyes, you see this guy's eyes? His eyes are clear. You can see his little black eyes. The tortoise I had webs on his eyes. Not spider webs. They were about fungi, glossy webs. And it was showing that he was sick. He had parasites. He was foaming from the mouth. Little bubbles would come out of his mouth. And his shell was deformed at the bottom. It was like red and really bright pink. And I did some research and I found out that those are really major red flags. So if you pick your tortoise, make sure you ask wherever you buy it, if you buy it in person, to see the tortoise, to hold it in your hands and inspect it. Because you don't want to bring home a sick tortoise. It's only going to get sicker. And another thing, why you should only have one tortoise, is because a lot of people think, oh, I have one. If you already have a tortoise, you might be debating on whether you should go and get another tortoise because you think your tortoise is lonely. Tortoises love being lonely. They're loners. In the wild, they hardly run into one another, and when they do, they probably fight and move on. They're loners. They like to be alone. They like to be by themselves. Your tortoise isn't getting lonely, especially if you're spending time with it, bathing it, taking it outside, and talking to it. And another reason why you shouldn't bring another tortoise home with your tortoise, if you get 2 male tortoises, just like any wild animal, they're going to fight. They're going to reach maturity, and they're going to try to dominate their enclosure. And they're going to try to tip each other over, bite each other's necks, and they're either going to kill each other, or one of them is going to get scared and not eat and get sick. And that's why you shouldn't get male tortoises. And if you're wondering, well, what if I get a female tortoise with my male tortoise? A reason why you shouldn't get a female tortoise, just like I said, tortoises are from the wild. And they tend to be dominant. It's going to keep trying to mate with your female tortoise. And it's going to try to mate with her a lot, over and over and over again. And if she don't want to mate, it's going to bite on her. It's going to hurt her. So I suggest you don't get a female tortoise. And eventually, the female tortoise will get bigger than your male tortoise. They get bigger, and it will try to kill your male tortoise. Some people say, well, I heard you should get 3 female tortoises to 1 male. All that's going to do, if you do that, they're just going to fight. The 3 females, they're going to want to be dominant too, and they're going to try to fight each other. So don't put any tortoises with your tortoise. That's what I recommend. And like I said, when you pick your tortoise, look for these red flags: glossy eyes, webbed eyes, foaming from the mouth, deformity of the shell. You want them to be alert. Like how I go pet Aoki, that's my tortoise's name. See how he's alert? He moves his head. You see that? Because he's alert. I mean, usually he lets me pet him, but he's grumpy right now. It's the morning time. And he's like, why are these people recording me? But other than that, top things you want to do when you pick your tortoise: make sure a tortoise is right for you. Should you get a tortoise? Is that the right pet for you? Can you provide it with the things it needs? Keep that in mind. Do your research. Don't just take my advice. Look at other videos. Google things on Google. And just, in general, just make sure you pick a good, healthy tortoise. And buy the things it needs. I hope my advice helped you guys. And for me, Aoki, and my girlfriend, Bianca, have a good day. Good night.